look at it.
We've got what you're looking for.
Walmart. Always.
Cleveland police have joined the Special Olympics run to raise money for this weekend's big summer games. Members of the academy gathered at City Hall for the traditional lighting of the torch, and then they were off. They start slowly, but they gain speed here. Just you watch. The run takes 3 days. There they go. The run takes 3 days with rest stops in Akron and Mansfield. The state summer games, Lorna, are in Columbus this weekend. Anybody who wants to donate money can call the Cleveland Police Department. They'll be happy to unload you of your money.
Way to go. Finally tonight, creativity in the classroom. It just keeps getting better and better. This invention is called the pool truck. It's a fire truck that has a built-in swimming pool. It's taken to city neighborhoods to give kids lessons in water safety. We hear it's going over swimmingly.
That's a great way to put out the fires this summertime. Just jump in the back.
That's right.
That's the news for now.
And stay tuned for 24-hour news source updates all night long.
See you tomorrow.
And with these...
I certainly would invite you to pick the phone up right now.
Would you consider this an essential service?
We don't think full-time home shopping is the kind of public service that justifies the benefit of free carriage on cable systems.
But that's exactly what may be about to happen, courtesy of the FCC.
I think it's outrageous.
I think that if you have two people having sex on the screen, a lot of people will watch it, but I'm not sure that's public good.
You're watching America's original shop-at-home television service.
Tonight, the battle over the home shopping network.
This is ABC News Nightline. Reporting from Washington, Ted Koppel.
There are those of us who regard shopping in any form as an excruciating form of punishment. Listening to a particularly insistent salesperson babble on about the virtues and values of a product I neither want nor need is not, I confess, my idea of entertainment either. Having said that, I've also come to the conclusion that I must be in the minority. Enough people clearly love shopping via television and telephone to make at least 2 shopping television networks hugely profitable. And it is readily apparent that we are merely at the beginning of a new age in shopping. When, in a free marketplace, you have those who want to sell and those who want to buy, it behooves the rest of us to stand back and get out of the way. That does not explain, however, why cable systems should be required to carry home shopping stations for free. The Federal Communications Commission appeared to be just on the verge of granting the stations that so-called must-carry right. But now a lot of questions are being raised about why a television station that exists for the sole purpose of making money should be given free access to cable. Here's some background from Nightline correspondent Dave Marish.
All the world's a stage. That's what William Shakespeare thought back in the olden times. Back when television was still defining its basic mix of dramatic events.
You are there.
Like this.
And the Oscar goes to...
And this.
This is Jeopardy!
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
And this.
It's all over! The Chicago Bulls!
From those early days on, giving viewers news or religious programming or a wide assortment of cultural points of view was part of every broadcaster's FCC-mandated responsibility to gain access to the public airwaves.
They said the broadcasters will be free to use this public property for private profit. But in exchange for that, they have an obligation to offer a kind of public service.
Every single one of these flowers is handmade, hand-painted.
But that was then, and this is now what Shakespeare would call a brave new world, where the question is shopping an essential public service? The concept of shopping at home by TV and phone actually flourished in the brave old world of the 1980s, when customers had the courage of their consuming compulsions.
The industry's gone from 0 in 1986 to north of $2 billion in 1992. It's very hard to think of any industry that's grown at nearly that rate.
Today, the cable-based shopping channel QVC is seen in 3/4 of cable TV homes. And the home shopping network, also on some cable stations, adds to that audience a potential 27 million customers who tune in over the air to more than 100 broadcast affiliates. And recently, the big boys of broadcasting, ABC and NBC, have experimented with shop-at-home programming. The future of this multi-billion-dollar business may soon be reshaped by the Federal Communications Commission. The FCC will, in the next few days, decide whether home shopping stations ought to be covered by the must-carry rule, whether home shopping stations offer such an essential public service that they must be guaranteed free what they now have to pay for, access to local cable systems.
I think it's outrageous.
Former FCC Commissioner Johnson says the proposed extension of must-carry status would contribute to the pollution of TV programming.
Surely there are enough outlets for advertising in most communities today without requiring that cable systems must carry these stations that are nothing but 24-hour-a-day commercials.
It's grossly unfair that the stations that do a serious job of serving the public receive a benefit of must carry, but home shopping stations that don't provide public service also receive the same benefit.
Ironically, many of the owners of these full-service local TV stations support the extension of must-carry to home shopping. It could mean big money for them by raising the value of some of their most marginal broadcast properties. One happy owner of 3 home shopping network stations says they do provide more public services than just shopping.
Every hour we show 4.5 minutes of public affairs programming. We have 2 news breaks during the day.
Good morning. I'm Dolores McLaughlin. Welcome to another edition of Teen Talk.
These aren't real newscasts, Oxendine admits, nor is shopping programming as central to public politics or culture as some of the offerings that shopping channels are squeezing out of some cable systems.
People are paying money to receive programming, not paying money to have people sell them things.
And there could be other competitive casualties, like newspapers, whose retail advertising may be reduced by TV shopping, and catalog sales retailers, and especially small shops and stores, which can't compete with TV shopping channels' efficiencies.
And if you're a retailer, 6 months before you put it on your shelf, you've got to go out, source it, bring it into the store, watch it for a month or 2 months to see if it sells.
TV shopping channels are big stores with narrow shelves. Customers don't browse through dozens of brands and models. They take a ring or they leave it. And TV retailing not only offers fewer goods for sale, it radically concentrates ownership. The largest stockholder of both the home shopping network and its competitor QVC is the same man, John Malone, who is also America's top cable system owner and America's top developer of cable TV programming. Such power, philosophers say, can be corrupting, and in fact, the man John Malone bought control of the home shopping network from stands accused of corruptly controlling who got to offer products on his channel. Former executives say HSN used bribes, kickbacks, and hidden ownership agreements to eke extra profits out of its TV store.
There is a federal grand jury investigating these allegations in Tampa. The Securities and Exchange Commission are involved. The IRS are involved.
So far, these charges haven't even led to indictments, but investigators note the very structure of a shopping channel creates tempting opportunities for abuse. It's yet another worry, in addition to those about programming standards and economic fairness, for the FCC to consider when it judges whether shopping is the kind of public service the public airwaves are to be used for. I'm Dave Marish for Nightline in Washington.
The Home Shopping Network declined our invitation to be a part of this broadcast. When we return, we will speak with 2 former FCC commissioners on different sides of the issue, and a media reporter covering the story.
This is ABC News Nightline, brought to you by Buick.
Can remember, the Roadmaster name has graced only automobiles of great strength and security. Buick Roadmaster for 1993 is no exception. Consider, for example, the protection of Roadmaster's full perimeter frame. Its V8 power, anti-lock brakes, and driver airbag. Buick Roadmaster, perhaps the world's best value in a traditional luxury car.
Poor Newton. I know it's hard being here with so little to do all day, but Maytag builds them to last longer and need fewer repairs. Look at them, icons of indestructibility. No wonder we Maytag repairmen are lords of loneliness, sultans of solitude. I know how you feel, that ache inside for the dinner. Hey, now there's something I can fix.
Maytag, the dependability people.
Primetime showed you wasted Washington before. Now here's a new hour of it.
The taxpayers got taken to the cleaners.
Come on, Washington, shape up. Primetime, Thursday.
Ah, thank goodness we found you. Because we'd never forgive ourselves if we let you miss this opportunity. You can now buy an Oldsmobile Achieva Special Edition with air, automatic, anti-lock brakes, and more for only $14,695. Well, your neighbors certainly thought it was a good deal. It's your money.
Hi, Charlie. You startled me.
What you cooking?
Nothing.
Those look like Johnsonville brats.
No.
Come on, I know a Johnsonville brat when I see one.
They're not Johnsonville.
They are Johnsonville brats. I love them.
Could you come back tomorrow, please? Oh, please don't do that.
Charlie Murphy's cooking Johnsonville brats! Johnsonville brats!
Folks can't resist the simply great taste of Johnsonville brats.
Joining us now live, two former officials of the Federal Communications Commission, Alfred Sykes, who was chairman under President Bush. He joins us from New York. Former Commissioner Nicholas Johnson now teaches communications law at the University of Iowa. He joins us from Washington, as does Paul Farhi, the Washington Post's business reporter covering the home shopping network vote. Only a couple of days ago, Paul, it looked as though the FCC was going to vote this through without any objections whatsoever. Now it looks as though they're getting sweaty palms. Why?
I think they got a lot of public attention on this, both on Capitol Hill and within the agency. They felt like this was something that might just go by without anyone really paying too much attention, but that's not the way it worked out for them.
What is it that people ought to be paying attention to here?
Well, it's a question of what is in the public interest, what kind of broadcast station is in the public interest. As your piece points out, the question that needs to be asked is home shopping in the public interest? Broadcasters do have an obligation, or at least had an obligation when they were granted their license to act in the public interest. Now the FCC's got to decide whether home shopping fits that bill.
Mr. Sykes, during the 1980s, under the chairmanship of Mark Fowler, I get the impression that that was sort of modified, if not totally eliminated, this notion of broadcasters being obliged to operate in, I guess the old phrase used to be the public interest, necessity, and convenience, right?
Well, I think there were great changes that occurred in the 1980s, a lot of additional television stations, and I think there was less emphasis during the period that Mark Fowler was chairman on precisely what kind of programming television stations carried. But I'd like to sort of update that and say that during the period that I was chairman, we emphasized the community issues programs obligation of broadcasters. We emphasized in the late stages children's television, which was an obligation passed by the Congress, and we took actions against stations for indecent programming, for deceptive programming, and for failure to meet their equal employment opportunity obligations.
Would it be fair then to say that when you were chairman, the FCC felt again, or still felt, that a station or a network has some sort of social obligation?
Yes, we did. We felt in particular that the regulations that required them to report on things that were going on in the community from a public affairs standpoint, was something that needed to be enforced.
Now, which social obligations do you think are met by the Home Shopping Network, or for that matter, QVC?
Well, you know, it is not, in my view, the Home Shopping Network that is meeting public service obligations. Presumably, it would be an